Hi everybody, Angel here. Hope you're doing great. Happy Monday or Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining. Yesterday I spoke about the topic physical, emotional, and energetic constipation. And if you missed that conversation, you can find it on my page. Thanks for joining. And basically today I'm talking about constipation relief through the chakras. The reason I'm talking about this topic is because, as I mentioned before, I have had so many people basically, in my inner circle, or clients that I'm coaching, or people I'm observing in mainstream society are really experiencing constipation. And as we know, if we're not eliminating waste, we're really backing up and clogging up our systems, our energy, and our ability to thrive and flourish on this journey we call life. And so, again, today I'm talking about constipation relief through the chakras. And I want to talk about how constipation may be linked to the basic needs of the human body, the human experience, and the energy centers in the body. So let's start with our basic needs. Now, there is a person called Maslow. You probably heard of him. And according to Maslow, he has like this pyramid, basically, of human needs. And so according to Maslow, human needs were arranged in the form of a hierarchy with physiological survival needs at the bottom, right? So the basics at the base, and the more creative and intellectually oriented or self-actualization needs at the top. So it makes sense that we need to cover our basics, cover our bases, cover our basic needs. And Maslow argued that survival needs must be satisfied before the individual can satisfy the higher needs. Now, let's get into what these physiological needs are. So, our physiological and basic needs are biological requirements for human survival, such as air, fresh air, hopefully, food, very nutritious plant foods, hopefully, drink, so hydration, shelter, clothing, warmth, sex, and sleep. So our most basic need is for physical survival. And this will be the first thing that motivates our behavior. And once that level is fulfilled, then the next level up is what motivates us, and so on. So we'll get into those other levels in future conversations, but today's conversation is focused on the basics, on the physiological survival needs at the very bottom. Thanks for joining. And so once our basic needs, I think I'm back. Sorry about that. So once our basic needs are met, then our body can function more optimally. But if these basic needs are not satisfied, then the human body cannot function optimally. And Maslow considered physiological needs the most important of all, as all the other needs become secondary once these basic needs are met. Thanks for joining. And so I personally see these basic needs that I mentioned, such as, fresh air, high vibration, plant foods, drink, meaning hydration, shelter, clothing, warmth, sex, and sleep. I personally see all of these basic needs as being linked to constipation and other challenges in the human body, in the human energetic system, in the sense that if our basic needs are not met, then we are not at ease. We are actually in a state of distress. And that can prevent the body from relaxing and from releasing the waste and the toxins that form in our bowels, and that can be manifested in the form and shape and experience of constipation. Now, I also see these basic needs that I just discussed in the Maslow hierarchy, in the Maslow pyramid. I also see these basic needs linked to the first chakra, or the first energy center. And many of you have probably heard of these chakras. And so there are at least one version of events, one interpretation is that there are 7 chakras, and these chakras are thought of as the main energy points in your body, which run up and down the spine. And there are tons and tons of diagrams of these on the web, or, different books and articles. So you can check those out at your leisure. And once the chakras become blocked, if any of these chakras or energy centers are blocked, this can mess up the flow of energy in our bodies, and this blockage of the flow of energy can cause emotional and physical distress. And sometimes that can manifest itself in the form and shape and experience of constipation, as well as other manifestations. So what we eat and how we handle our bodies can affect how we feel, how we think, and how our bodies perform and eliminate and process everything that we are consuming. And it's not only food, of course, it's like media, relationships. We've talked about some of those aspects and elements already. So there's 7 chakras, and I will be speaking today about the first chakra. Thanks for joining. And the first chakra is the root chakra. And it's located at the base of the spine, which represents our foundation and our grounding. And that is why I see this as a direct link and a direct correlation and a direct relationship to those basic needs in the Maslow hierarchy. So let's talk about this root chakra. So the root chakra has a Sanskrit name, which you've probably heard of, and it's called the Muladhara root support. And the element is earth. So think of the earth as the basis of our existence, of planet Earth. And the color that is associated with this first chakra, this root chakra, is the color red. So the first chakra is the energy center which supports our entire foundation. It connects us to the earth and everything around us. And it is the most important chakra or energy center. And it is the most common chakra or energy center to experience a blockage or weakness. It controls our survival instincts, security, fight or flight, and fear. Physically, it supports our legs, our feet, and our foundation. So when we have a root chakra that is out of balance, this may cause issues with our legs, our feet, our digestive system. It may cause some emotional imbalances that can cause feelings of not feeling supported, of feeling insecurity, of feeling loneliness or fear. I personally have some challenges with my first chakra, which is why I can understand a lot of this from firsthand experience throughout my life, basically, for various reasons. And so one of these manifestations in some people could be constipation. Or it could manifest itself in, as we were just discussing, feelings of insecurity, of not being supported, of feeling alone, of feeling fearful. Now, I'm going to cover some of the foods that are connected and recommended for the root chakra, for the first chakra, for this support chakra, that you may consider incorporating in your diet and lifestyle, and that you may experience actually help you to feel more grounded. And I can tell you from personal experience that the foods that I'm going to be talking about today, from personal experience, I can tell you that they really, really, really have that powerful, beautiful effect of helping us as humans to feel more grounded, to feel more secure and safe. And thus, it's easier for us to be relaxed and to release the waste and the toxins that are accumulating in the body naturally because of our consumption, because of what we're eating, and of course the air we're breathing and all the relationships we have, etc. But in general, we're going to focus on the dietary food consumption for this purpose of constipation. Although, as I mentioned yesterday, if you missed that conversation, you can check it out on my page. But as I've mentioned before, there are other aspects that go along. It's not only food, but we'll do a little rerun of that in a second. But so let's cover some of the foods that are helpful for this first chakra, for this root chakra. Foods that can support and balance our basic needs and help us to feel more grounded and safe and secure. So to balance your first chakra, think about the color red. Thanks for joining. So the color red, think about red apples, beets, tomatoes, pomegranates, strawberries, raspberries, right? So those red fruits are very grounding, very supportive of our natural basic needs as human beings, as sentient beings. I'm going to repeat those, okay? Red apples, beets, tomatoes, pomegranates, strawberries, and raspberries. Drop an emoji in the comments for me, please, if you're following along, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Let me know your comments and thoughts as well. Let's go on to the root vegetables that grow beneath the ground and that absorb a high amount of vitamins and nutrients from the soil, and that are rich in folate, vitamin C, antioxidants, and beta-carotene. Now, some of these root vegetables include sweet potatoes, carrots, turnips, beets, garlic, parsnips, onions, rutabaga, ginger, and turmeric. These are very grounding foods. These are very supportive foods that can help us to feel safe and secure. They may sound and feel a bit heavy, but that's what we need. Because a person like me, for example, for many, 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 many years before I really started to work on all of this, I did not feel very grounded. I felt very kind of, flighty, a little bit airy-fairy, a little bit kind of blowing in the wind, I guess you could say. And it's through really tapping into, tuning into, and understanding and consuming and benefiting from these powerful grounding foods that I have been able to reap the benefits of, feeling more secure in my body, feeling more grounded and basically supported by these powerful, powerful foods. So I'm going to repeat those one more time. These grounding root vegetables include sweet potatoes, carrots, turnips, beets, garlic, parsnips, onions, rutabaga, ginger, and turmeric. So if you do not already have these foods in your home, I highly recommend you start adding some of these foods to your repertoire, to your shopping list, to your meals, to your diet and lifestyle. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I personally just munched on 2 good-sized carrots before I hopped on this live because I love carrots. And I was actually interviewed the other day, and I was saying to the 2 people who were interviewing me, that, carrots are beautiful and they come in different colors, like, orange and yellow and purple. And they were surprised. They didn't even know the carrots came in colors other than orange. So imagine that, right? That's just an example. Although I, gravitate more towards raw foods. We can eat sweet potatoes raw. I eat sweet potatoes raw. I make a smoothie with raw sweet potatoes. I make little dips and spreads with, raw sweet potatoes. You can put raw beets in your smoothies, in your juices, in your dips and spreads and salads and sauces, etc., etc. And now I want to move on to the protein-rich foods that are very grounding for the root chakra, for the first chakra to really solidify and strengthen our base, our basic needs, so that our bodies feel more supported and more relaxed, and we can release the toxins and the waste that accumulate in the body in the form of constipation. So some of these protein-rich foods are beans and nuts. So think of those, to add those to your diet. For me, it's a lifestyle. So I'll say as a lifestyle, as your, to your menu, to your shopping list, to your meals. Very, very protein rich and supportive, heavy, dense foods such as beans and nuts. And in addition, there are different herbs and spices that are very grounding and very supportive for the first energy chakra, for the base chakra, such as paprika, cayenne, and horseradish. So those are some examples. Now, as you know, I also like to talk about other elements, not just diet, because it is a lifestyle. It's a full head to toe experience, as I've said over and over and over again. And so when we think of like mantras and affirmations, for example, and I talked about affirmations and mantras yesterday as well. One of the affirmations that we can say, we can repeat to ourselves to support our root chakra, our first energy center, is an affirmation that says, I am safe and grounded. I'm going to repeat that. I am safe and grounded. And feel it in your body. Don't just say it. Don't just kind of repeat it, blah, blah, blah. Really feel it. Tap into it. Tune into it. Feel the vibration of those words. I am safe and grounded. And imagine the power of those words and feel the power of feeling safe and grounded. And that will really go a long way. It will go a long way in helping your body and your bowels to relax and to release and to detox and let go, instead of holding on to the waste that is accumulating in the body. So, as I mentioned yesterday, and today, there are many ways to strengthen the body, to allow the body to relax and eliminate that old waste. There's, other, modalities and rituals and practices like deep breathing, chanting, massage, exercise, meditation, journaling. You can get some coaching or therapy and counseling to release some of those old traumas, those old energies, those old vibrations, those old frequencies that are stuck in the body and that are causing the body to be tense and to retain the waste that we experience as humans sometimes, that we call constipation. So that's what I wanted to come on today. I am going to wrap this up and I will post it, and please leave me your questions or comments in the chat or direct message me if you need my support along your life journey. I can set up a free discovery call with you, see if I can help you along the way through my coaching offerings, my coaching program. Just to kind of tap in and see how you're doing, or any other life challenges that you're having, not just constipation, but I know constipation is really, really coming up a lot in conversations that I'm having, with clients and people in my inner circle and just in the mainstream, like I said, at the top of this conversation. So I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. I want to wish you a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are. And thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful life journey. And with that, I'm just going to wrap this up and put a bow on it. So thank you so much for joining, everybody, and take good care. Bye-bye.